Welcome back, guys. It's Kathleen Hart again from the Little Piece of Heart blog. We're back in the kitchen and I'm going to show you today how to make a really amazing spice rubbed oven baked chicken. Now, do you like fried chicken? I do. Do you enjoy spices and really flavorful things with chicken? I do. This is right up your alley then, because I'm gonna make a little bit of a spice rub. We're gonna rub it on some skin on, bone in chicken thighs, which are right now economical, very cheap. So go and get yourself some. Make this recipe, and the ingredients couldn't be any simpler. I will place a bet that you have everything in your pantry right now. It's super simple. And then at the end, after we bake the chicken, I'm gonna make a little aioli, which I know sounds fancy. I'm super fancy. Actually, all that is a mayonnaise-based sauce that we're just gonna like dip the chicken in. And let me tell you, the cool mayonnaise-based aioli, along with some spice rubbed chicken, phenomenal. You will not miss fried chicken after this. So come down, take a look. I wanna show you the chicken thighs first. Keep in mind that I did clean these up, and let me show you really quickly how I did that. Here's how chicken thighs come, and they're great. They're an economical piece of meat. However, they can be a bit, hard to work with if you don't know what you're doing. So what I want to do is clean this up. Just to give you an example, there's all this extra skin. You don't want that. You want some skin and some fat, but you do not need all this extra. I like to take a good pair of kitchen scissors, kitchen shears, and just go right around here and get rid of all of that excess skin. We do not need that. Even that as well. And this, you don't have to be perfect. If you take off a little piece of meat, no one's gonna come to your house and yell at you. It's totally fine. Just taking off, the extra fat. If it's too much for me, like all of this, you don't need this. So I'm just gonna cut that off, and there we go. A nice, pretty chicken thigh with some nice skin here that is gonna be nice and crispy, whether you're doing it in a pan or in the oven. We got our chicken thighs here. Now that you've seen how I cleaned them up, that's them right there. I got 4 bone-in skin on. We're going to be using some olive oil here, salt and pepper for the spice mixture, along with some garlic and onion powder. You know me, we're including it. Some paprika and some oregano. This might look simple. It might look too simple, but I'm telling you, spices are a low-carb chef's best friend because you can add so much flavor from some dried spices or some fresh herbs. So it's literally a match made in heaven when you put all of this together. Come and take a look. We're going to take our olive oil. I already have it measured in here. And I'm going to add salt. And this is how easy this is too. We're just going to literally put all the spices in here. And we're going to make a little paste with the olive oil. And then we're going to smear it all over the chicken. Couldn't be any easier. This is a great weeknight meal. This is great if you're entertaining because you can make, as many as you want. It's also great if you're cooking by yourself because you can make half this recipe, have 2 chicken thighs, and you can, keep the meat, take the meat off of it, and have more than 1 meal out of it. So that's always a plus. I already went in with my garlic powder, oregano, paprika. Lid is giving me a hard time. There we go. Going with paprika. If you have smoked paprika, so much better. If you don't, do not go out and buy it. Regular paprika will work. Lastly, onion powder. Okay, perfect. So now what I'm going to do is go in with a fork and just get these all mixed and combined. Now that we have our spice and oil mixture all combined, look how pretty that looks. Nice and deep from that paprika. It's still pretty runny, which is good because we want to go in and pour this on top of all of our chicken thighs. And then we're going to go in with clean hands. You get all of that in there actually. You don't want to miss any of this. So much flavor. Okay. I'm going to debling, take my rings off, and then I'm going to go in and just massage this all over the chicken. And then I'm going to get underneath the skin as well. I want all of this chicken to be coated in this mixture. So I'm going to lift up the skin. Try not to tear it off because we do want the skin because that's what's going to be nice and crispy for these crispy thighs. Move this around. I want everything to get coated in this spice mixture. All right, so now that it's all coated underneath the skin, underneath the chicken. Everything has this glorious spice mixture. My hands are still dirty. I'm going to move the chicken thighs onto a foil-lined baking sheet that I sprayed with some nonstick cooking spray. You don't want them to be touching, just place them all around so that there's even space between them. And then we're gonna pop this into a 375-degree oven. And once it's done, I'm actually gonna reserve a little bit of the grease from the chicken because that's gonna help flavor our aioli. So once I get to that point where the chicken is done and we're ready to assemble the aioli and eat the chicken, I will meet you right back here. Got myself some wine because I am about to dig in to this chicken. Take a look at how beautiful it looks. In the oven at 375 for 1 hour, and it makes you want to bite it. Look at those spices, the crispy skin. You guys, so good. Like, I can't even. If you're craving fried chicken, try this recipe because I bet you'll like it. If you feel like your oven didn't get the skin crispy enough, pop it into the broiler for a minute or two. Keep watching it just so it doesn't burn until you get the desired crispiness. That will do it for you if your oven didn't do it in the hour that it cooked. So now we gotta make our aioli. Come and take a look at what I did to make the ingredients. I have some mayo in here that I told you would be the base. Now, when I cooked these, I took the tin foil after I removed the chicken. I made like a little V out of it and poured the grease into this little ramekin here. Now, this is just gonna be used for flavoring. This has our olive oil, all of our spices. It's already flavored to the max along with some chicken, flavorings in there. So, I mean, adding this to the aioli is just gonna make it phenomenal. I might not use all of the grease, but I wanted to reserve it all just in case. The last thing we're gonna need, second to last thing is a pinch of pepper and a juice from half of a lemon. So I have that all ready for me here. To my mayo, I'm gonna go in with the juice from half of a lemon, and this is gonna thin out and brighten up the mayo. And then we're gonna get rid of that. Next, pinch of pepper, as much or as little as you like. I'll put the measurements in the recipe for how much I like for pepper. And then what I'm gonna do before I add the grease is get all of this to incorporate. I like to use a fork. You could also use a whisk, but I feel like it's such a small ramekin that a whisk would be too big. All right, now when you mix the mayo, just keep going with it. I actually splattered it, that's okay. And it'll kind of get the lumps will work out on their own, so I wouldn't worry about that. But see how the pepper dotted through that? It already looks kind of pretty. But now, I'm gonna put my fork aside. Now I'm gonna use my spatula, pour it right in the middle. And I know this might sound weird. Why am I putting grease in a sauce? But like I said, all of the flavor is in here, and we're just using a little bit to make the aioli. And this is typically like how you would do it. It's just phenomenal. So actually, that's nice. It's nice and thin. It's a nice thin sauce. I'm actually gonna go in with a little bit more of this to thin it out a little bit more. That looks great. I'm actually gonna go and just taste it. Not to spill it. So good. And you know what? The lemon mixed a little bit of the already chicken flavoring with the mayo. The mayo is just a vehicle. I mean, it's literally there just to carry us through. It doesn't lend as much flavor as you would think. It's the lemon and the chicken flavoring that is going to make the sauce phenomenal. The contrast of a cool, citrus, bright sauce with a spicy, kind of paprika, smoky chicken, it's a match made in heaven. So let's dig into this chicken. I'm gonna take off this little piece right here that I know is gonna be good. Look at that, it's nice and juicy, but the crust is on there. Oh, it's phenomenal. No breading here. And I'm just gonna go in because it's my house and it's my kitchen and I can dip my food into my bowl of sauce if I want to. Or, I'm sorry, my aioli. So here we go. It's a winner. You guys, it's kind of hard for me to describe something like this because when I say fried chicken, you have this idea in your head of like a KFC fried chicken, buttermilk, breading, whatever. You taste the same thing. You might not have this thick, floury crust. I mean, That's amazing. However, you still get the same flavors. And that's what I like with low carb, is that I'm trying to create recipes that remind you of something that you may have loved, you know, that you can't really have anymore because you're trying to follow a low carb lifestyle. This is one of those dishes where if you're craving some kind of fried chicken, KFC, try this chicken. Make the aioli on the side if you want to fancy it up a little bit. But seriously, it is such a good combination and it just looks pretty. Click on the link below and you're gonna find my blog with the recipe, with all the measurements for everything, how to make the aioli, how to make the chicken, how much time to cook it. I got you covered. Click the link below and please subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna be posting low carb recipes, especially now that we're getting into fall. Pretty soon it'll be, you know, winter time. Lots of comfort food coming your way. I got you guys covered. So please subscribe, give me a thumbs up if you like this, and I will see you guys so soon. Just blink your eyes, I'll be back.